everyone, I'm Nicole Guillaume with Guiding Echoes, the channel that is devoted to your spiritual and personal growth. And today I am sharing with you 5 different ways that you can connect to source energy. So why would you want to connect with source energy? Well, being that you are source energy, we sometimes need to be replenished. So think of it this way. Our body needs fuel in order to run, right? And fuel comes in different ways. It comes from sunlight, it comes from food, it also comes from water. So these are 3 different elements that we need in order to have a healthy, happy body. And in order for us to have a healthy, happy spiritual life and mental well-being and emotional well-being, we need to recharge our spiritual battery sometimes. So if you find yourself feeling depressed or sad or overwhelmed, and you know that your diet's good and your body seems to be in good health, it's possible that maybe you need a spiritual recharge, or maybe you're looking for direction or fulfillment in your life. So there's several different reasons as to why you would want to make this connection with source energy. So the first tip I have for you is to practice a white light meditation. You can also do a golden light meditation. The 2 of them do exactly the same thing. So this is a very simple meditation where you would close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, and breathe out. And you'll want to do that a few times so that your body can get nice and relaxed. And once you're able to get your body into that state of comfort and ease and relaxation, you then begin to imagine that there is this beautiful waterfall of sparkling white or golden light just flowing over your entire body. And this meditation is so relaxing and so tranquil and peaceful. And many people have experienced some form of emotional or physical healing when they do this type of meditation consistently. So this is a wonderful way to connect to source and recharge your batteries. And what's wonderful is that it's free, right? We like free. And also it doesn't require any type of strain on your end. All you have to do is empty your mind, relax a little bit, and imagine this flowing white light is flowing over you. And essentially what happens is your aura, your soul, your spirit begins to absorb that light. And that's when that connection to source energy is made. And when you practice this type of meditation, you'll not only receive the benefits of being more relaxed and having more energy throughout the day, but you'll also start to notice that your intuition becomes stronger too. So if you have a split decision that you need to make, you will find that you get an intuitive hit and you'll know what choice is right for you. So that's one of the smaller benefits of doing the white light meditation. The second method that I have for you is to do a God source meditation. Now this is a meditation that you will do when you want to talk to source, when you want to have some type of conversation. Now of course you can also connect with angels in this way or spirit guides, but sometimes we want to talk to source directly, and that's okay too. So most people would call this method prayer, right? Because you're talking to God. But I find that speaking to God, speaking to source in a more meditative environment or a meditative state is much more beneficial. See, when we are doing a typical prayer, we sometimes get into our own head. We don't give God enough space to actually answer us. In a white light God source meditation, we sit down, we do our breathing exercises, we get nice and comfortable, and we create this beautiful, wonderful safe haven in our minds and our consciousness. And that's where God's source can come meet us. And this is where we can ask questions that we have, or ask for advice, or ask for some type of insight to a challenge that we're facing. So if you're in a situation where you need some type of advice, and maybe you don't want to go to a psychic, or you don't want to ask your pastor for help, or whatever the situation is, trust your ability to connect with source directly, because you do have that ability. So start practicing that so you can get into that type of vibration where you can connect with God and actually hear him or her speak back to you simply by sitting down, breathing in deeply, exhaling fully, getting your body nice and relaxed, making it your intention to connect with source, to have a beautiful one-on-one insightful conversation. and imagine that you're in a beautiful room or you're outside in a peaceful meadow. Whatever scene feels right to you and feels safe and vibrant is the type of environment that you want to create. And don't get upset with yourself or don't get too frustrated if you feel like you don't make contact right away. Sometimes we just need to elevate our vibration a little bit more before we can make that connection during the meditation. Okay, so sometimes it takes practice. The third method that I have for you is to read spiritual books. And the magic of being alive in this day and age is we don't necessarily have to read them. We can watch them on YouTube. We can listen to them through a podcast or through some type of audio recording. So make time to dive in to spiritual literature. There are so many great books out there. There's A Course in Miracles. There's the Tao, which is what I've been reading lately, the Tao Te Ching. I really enjoy listening to Wayne Dyer's take on that, so that's one that I would highly encourage you to listen to. There's the Kabbalion. There's so many different books out there that can help you to enhance your spiritual growth. And of course, when we enhance our spiritual growth, that also helps us to make a connection to Source because it helps us to understand Source better. Number 4 is to contemplate Source energy, to contemplate that connection, and to contemplate the spiritual truths that you've unraveled and discovered in your own life. I love to contemplate spiritual books, which if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you already know that about me. You know I'm a bookworm. And so for me, one of the things that I love to do is on a nice, cool, or even a nice hot summer's night or, winter's night if it's not raining, is I love to go for walks by myself and contemplate some type of spiritual truth or spiritual idea that I read in a book. And it may not necessarily be an idea that I believe in that resonates with me, but because I am so addicted to knowledge and wisdom, I won't let that stop me from at least pondering the deeper meaning behind it or beneath it. So that's something that I would encourage you to do. Find a book and start diving into it. And if you find that after a few chapters you're not feeling it, like for example, A Course in Miracles took me a long time to get into. I still struggle with it. Sometimes I have to skip around in order for it to keep my attention. Go try another book or skip around like I did. Just find something that really resonates with you, makes you feel alive, because there's so many different books available out there. There's so much knowledge available out there that can meet us where we are in our different stages of growth. So if you're in spiritual first grade, there's no rush to get to spiritual high school on a reading level. Find what resonates with you. Take those baby steps forward and contemplate. Really, really think about the different spiritual truths that you are learning in these different books. I have found that most books have layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of information in them. And as you start to read all of these different books from all these different religions and all these different cultures, you'll eventually find a common thread that connects all of them. And to me, that is absolutely fascinating. So make time to contemplate what it is that you've been learning and what it is that you've been experiencing throughout your life. And number 5 probably isn't going to sound like a way to connect with spirit at all, but I assure you it is, and that is to create something, all right? The truth is we're always creating, but we sometimes create by default. We create a life of debt, we create a life of unhappiness, we create emotionally detached relationships, and that's not what most of us want to consciously create. So what I would advise you to do is to consciously create something. And it doesn't have to be life-altering either. It doesn't have to be that you go out right away and you start creating fulfilling relationships. It doesn't have to be that you start creating a life of wealth for yourself. Maybe you don't know how to do that yet. But see, Spirit loves to create. And I don't know about you, but for me, I feel like I'm at my best when I'm creating something, like creating these videos. I love creating these videos. I'm addicted to it, actually. So when I feel as if I am creating something that I can contribute to this spiritual community, I feel so much better. And I don't know what your spiritual gifts are. I don't know what your talents are. I don't know what makes your heart sing, but you do. And if you don't, then this is a fun thing for you to start investigating. This is a fun thing that you can start getting your hands dirty with. But start creating something, whether it's art, whether it's poetry, whether it's music. Start creating something that makes you feel good. Because when you create, you actually begin to channel source energy, and you become a channel. You become a vessel for source, because source loves to express itself through creation, through you. Because you are source energy. You are directly related to God, to source. And source loves to create. In fact, that's all it does. It creates, creates, creates. So when you find yourself feeling sad or depressed, start creating. You may have noticed that most people, when they are going through a vast depression, that's when they get the most creative. Right? It's medicine to them. Creating poetry, creating music, writing sad songs, doing artwork. It's a form of therapy. Depression, for whatever reason, can sometimes bring out that darkness of the soul on paper. It allows us to create beautiful work when we're in the midst of despair. And if we keep that practice up, what happens for most people is they eventually start breaking through that depression. Why? When you're creating, you start to feel more alive. That's the magic of creation. You feel alive. So start connecting to source energy by consciously creating something. Doesn't matter what it is. Just start creating, and you'll start to feel that vibrancy awaken inside of you. And you'll start to get to a point where you know that you're channeling something beyond yourself, where you know you've made a wonderful connection between yourself and the power that created you. So I hope this was helpful for you. If there is another way that you like to connect with Source that wasn't mentioned in this video, then please put it in the comment section down below. And for those of you looking for more creative ways or different ways to connect with Source, go read the comments. We have such a wonderful, beautiful community here of enlightened spiritual people, and I know that they are ready, willing, and excited to share their insight, their truth, and their knowledge and wisdom with you. So take advantage of that. Go check out the comment sections down below. You'll learn something there too. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I would like to welcome you to the Guiding Echoes community. I'd also like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here on this channel, we love to talk about spiritual topics such as the afterlife, connecting with Source, and things of that nature. So if that's up your alley, you've come to the right place. So subscribe to this channel. Also hit that little bell icon so you can be notified when I release new videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.